before we jump away. All right, guys. So tonight, let me first greet everybody. Let me say hello. Okay, Anila, how are you? Ziona, how are you? Didi, how are you? Yolandi, how are you? Mikhail, how are you? Ava, how are you doing? Neil, how you doing? Kun, how are you doing? Lauren, how are you doing? Vicky, Edna, Marili, how are you? Max, how are you? Franco, how are you guys? Guys, it is wonderful to see all of you guys tonight again. Now, we're going to jump away with session number 2. And tonight, I think, is going to be a little bit of a doozy. We've got a lot of things to get through, so I'm going to jump away with it as soon as possible so that we can get through everything. So, guys, tonight is the last section of how do you build the trader? Because the most important thing that you are going to do is you need to build the trader who you want to become. Okay, you need to decide what type of trader you want to be, and then you got to actively go to work on how to become that trader. Now, this is based upon chapter number 1 of my book. So what is our learning outcomes, guys? By the end of this module, I want you to be able to understand why most traders fail, discover their personal why, build a professional routine, develop a trader's mindset, set measurable goals, build the habits, create their own daily routine, and then begin thinking like a professional and no longer as just a hobby, taking it serious. Right, so lesson number 1. And now you're going to see it's going to be broken into 2.1 because there's specific sections. You're going to have specific things that you're going to have to do with each one. Finding your why. Now, why are you really here? Last week, we touched on it. I think the homework also touched on it. So it's very important. I just want to quickly go through some recap for last week for some of the guys that haven't, that only joined us now. But it's very important for you to understand why you are really here. If you do not know why you are really here, you will end up giving up on the journey, because if your why is not strong enough, you will not succeed at trading. I can teach you a strategy. I can show you everything that I know, but unfortunately, I cannot make you press the button. I cannot make you stop fiddling with your trades. I cannot make you do anything, because it comes down to you actually doing it yourself. Okay, so that's why you need to understand, why are you really here? Now, money must never be your why. Okay, so if you come here and you're like, no, but I want to make $1 million, that's my why. It's not strong enough. It will not hold you here. Money does not have the ability to satisfy that for you, because money is simply a tool. So last week we discussed that money is only a tool. It's only something that you can use to create something. Okay, and your why is the emotional reason behind the money. You were attracted to trading because of the money, but now you need to go and look deeper inside and understand why you are attracted to this money. Now, lesson 2.2 is the 3 pillars. So I firmly believe that there are only 3 pillars that you need to focus on from this day forward. You need to focus on knowledge, then you need to focus on mindset, and then you need to focus on strategy. Okay, those are the most important 3 pillars you need to build. If you do not build these pillars equally, you're going to have a very unstable foundation, and things are going to keep crumbling. And what do I mean with keep crumbling? Well, that's why you blow accounts. That's why you are struggling to become profitable, because you are building unevenly. So what happens is you grow a bit in mindset and a bit of knowledge, and then you think, no, the strategy doesn't work. So you keep flip-flopping from strategy, and then when the strategy starts working, then you think, well, maybe I must change my mindset. So you're constantly jumping around. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a process where we're going to be teaching you all of this structure. All right. Now, let me explain to you why. So knowledge. What do I mean with knowledge? Because if I say to you knowledge, it can mean many things, you know. So what is knowledge? Books, courses, practice. Practice gives you knowledge, okay? So every time you take a trade, you are gaining knowledge. Market observation, watching the market. How does it flow? How does it go? That is also knowledge. Replay, going back over through your trades. What worked? What didn't work? Statistics. That is also knowledge. And then chart study. So that's what I mean when it comes to knowledge. Mindset. When it comes to mindset, you have to fight things like fear, greed, discipline, patience, confidence, and obviously habits. Those are the things you need to focus on when it comes from a mindset perspective. And then strategy. Strategy is 5 things, guys. Where do I enter? Where do I exit? How much am I risking? When am I executing? And how did it go? What is the review? That's the only thing that you need in your strategy. You don't need more than that. Where do I enter? Where do I exit? And I think most of you on the 30 trade challenge has already realized how easy it is. So what happens if one of your pillar breaks? Well, if you're building at knowledge and strategy, but you fail to build at mindset, you are going to learn that all the strategy in the world will never be able to support you. But without the right mindset and emotions, you will destroy. So in this specific, if you only build at knowledge and strategy, you will destroy your results because of your mindset. Now, if you only focus on mindset and strategy, a strong mindset and a great strategy mean nothing if you don't have the knowledge to understand the markets and what you're doing. Okay, but now what if you only focus on knowledge and mindset? Well, you can understand the markets and have the right mindset, but without a proven strategy, you will lack direction and consistency. So I'm pretty sure if you guys just sit for a moment, you're going to identify where in these 3 you are sitting. Okay, so this is going to be part of the homework, is for you to understand which pillar is lacking. Maybe it's all 3, maybe it's only 1, maybe it's only 2. You have to identify which pillar is not functioning, and then you need to actively start working towards it. So what happens if you build on all 3 pillars, knowledge, mindset, and strategy? That is when knowledge, mindset, and strategy work together, you become consistent, confident, and capable of long-term success. Success is not about having one pillar. It's about building them all and keeping them strong. Okay, now lesson 2.3, building your mindset. Your strategy gets you into trades. Your mindset determines whether you become profitable. Okay, so let me say that again for you guys. Your strategy gets you into a trade. Your mindset determines whether you become profitable. Okay. Many of you guys took the 30 trade challenge this morning. You took the first trade. It was a loser. Some have closed early. Some maybe moved their stop loss. Some maybe widened their stop loss. So it wasn't that the strategy had a problem. It was the mindset that caused you to do that. Okay. So why does most traders fail? 90% of traders don't fail because of their strategy. They fail because of fear, greed, impatience, overtrading, their ego, and lack of discipline. Now I have bottom code there, which I shouldn't have there. But anyhow, so the biggest competitor isn't the market. It's the person staring back at you in the mirror. So from today, I want you to realize that the only person you have to fight is not the market, because many people want to fight the market. Many people are trying to beat the market. I'm sure many of you guys have heard, I'm trying to beat the market. I'm trying to beat the prop firms. I'm trying to beat everything. No. The only person you need to fight is you. If you can become 1% better week after week, you would be 52% better in a year. In 10 years, you will be over 520% better than you were before. So you would be 5 times the person that you were before. That is the goal, guys. That is what you need to focus on long term. So what is mindset? I think the important part is many people say to you, oh, you need to have the right mindset. Well, what the frick does that even mean? Well, the definition means a mindset is a collection of beliefs, thoughts, habits, and attitudes that influence every decision you make. Marnie, I can't stop moving my stop loss. Why can I not stop moving my stop loss? You know, when I get into the trade and then the next moment I find myself just moving my stop loss. You know what, Marnie? I just don't know what's happening to me. I get into the trade and I tell myself 50 times, I'm not going to close this trade. I'm going to leave it to go to TP. And then before I can catch myself, I went and closed the trade. And this thing went all the way to my take profit. Marnie, why can I not stop doing this? What is wrong with me? Well, it's because you have beliefs. First, you have beliefs. Those beliefs become thoughts. Those thoughts become habits. And those habits create certain attitudes. Okay, so we have to start with a belief. We have to slowly reprogram the way you believe. Then, and we're not talking about belief like, oh, what is your religious? I'm talking about your internal beliefs about yourself. I'm talking about that inner voice that is talking to you. That self-critic, those beliefs that was rooted in your childhood. Money is difficult to make. Money is the root of all evil. With more money, I'm afraid maybe I'm a very bad person then. Money doesn't grow on trees. Those are all beliefs that I'm not enough. No matter how hard I try, I'll never make it. No matter how much time I put in, yes, no matter how much time I put in, I'll never make it. I'm always number 2. I'm never number 1. These things don't happen to people like me. I mean, look at me. I come from a poor family. My mother, my father was poor. My grandparents were poor. This is not things that happen to me. We are meant to just be the people we are. Those are all beliefs, and those beliefs turn into thoughts. And then you tell yourself that story every single time, and those thoughts become your habits, and your habits become your attitude. We have to start with beliefs. You have to go back to your beliefs, and you have to slowly start changing your beliefs, because your beliefs will turn into thoughts, and those thoughts will turn into habits, and those habits turn into attitudes. It's the same thing that's with someone that is trying to lose weight. The reason why they battle to lose weight is because they're trying to change the habits. But what nobody understands is the habits is far too way down the side. You have to start with the beliefs. The reason why you're not losing weight is because there's a certain belief. There's a certain thing inside of you that is causing you to not lose weight. It's causing you and creating the thoughts. And those thoughts end up telling you to eat more. Telling you that, dieting doesn't work. Because there's certain beliefs. Because when I was growing up, I was always told, yeah, but you're always a chubby child. Oh, you know what? You love food so much. Every single time you did something wrong, you're rewarded with food. So you created the belief that food is a coping mechanism. I feel good. You see, a belief is when I eat, I feel good. It makes me feel good. And then I end up 20 years or 10 years later being where I don't want to be. And then I try to change, and it's too hard because I'm trying to change here at the end. You need to start with the beliefs, and that's exactly what we do at Sustainable Trading is we focus on the beliefs. What are the things that you believe about yourself? Do you believe that you're inadequate? Because I believe that you are powerful beyond measure. Do you believe that you are not educated enough? Well, I don't have a degree. I'm not smart enough to do this stuff. I barely made it through in the maths class. Maths is not my strong point. How the hell am I even supposed to trade? Those are beliefs that you have. They might not be at the forefront of your brain, but those are beliefs that you believe about yourself. But then those beliefs are limiting you. So it's very important. We're going to have some really great exercises around that. Okay, now let's look. There's only 2 mindsets. Now, if you want to expand this reading, you can get the book Mindset by I'll leave the link in for you guys. There's a specific I just can't get onto her name now. She wrote a book about mindset. So if you want to learn more about this, you'll see a lot of the stuff that we do have that we bring into this. You're going to see it always comes from some sort of either book or something that you can go and delve in it further. So if you've got a mindset problem, you can expand outside it, because sometimes trading requires you to work on something that is not directly related to the activity of trading, but it's something that is holding you back. So they speak about 2 types of mindset, a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So tonight you have to make the decision, which type of mindset do you have? Do you have a fixed mindset or do you have a growth mindset? Now, sometimes you can have a blend of both, guys. You can have a fixed mindset in certain areas and a growth mindset in other areas. You need to move from a fixed to a growth. So what is a fixed mindset? Have you said to yourself, I can't do this? Come. You said to yourself before, I can't do this. Have you ever said to yourself, when you lose, like, oh gosh, man, I just lose money. That's all I do. This trading thing doesn't work. I just keep losing money. I just keep losing money. Do you avoid the challenges? We all know 56 people started, 11 people finished because they have a fixed mindset about themselves. Do you fear mistakes? Gosh, I can't make another mistake. You know what? I just cannot make another mistake. If I make another mistake, it's the end of me, guys. You don't understand. I cannot make any more mistakes. Time is running out for me. I have to get these things right. You fear the mistakes. And now you might say, yeah, but I don't quit easily, Marnie. I don't quit easily. Well, let's go look at how many strategies how many strategies have you quit? How many of you guys can open up a diary and show me, okay, with each one of these strategies, I've taken 100 trades and all these 100 trades were really bad and this is a horrible strategy. So was your strategy based upon statistics or proven results, or is it just exactly? So you might sometimes say, yeah, but I don't quit easily. I'm a go-getter. And then you look at your trading and you're like, oh my gosh, there's like 50 strategies. I think in this past 2 years, I've just gone like through 30 strategies. So that's what I mean, you quit too easily. You didn't give it time to work in your favor. So we need to move you from that side to the next side. So we need to move you from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I can do this. You see, this is the difference in the programming. Here you said, I can't do this. And you need to program it to say, I can't do this yet. You see, this changes it by adding that word at the end. I can't do this yet. That tells your brain, okay, well, you know what? We're not going to give up. We're going to keep pushing until we get there. Losses mean I'm bad. No, losses help me improve. With every loss, I'm getting feedback. With every loss, I'm getting better. I avoid challenges. I welcome challenges. When something challenges me, when I go into drawdown and I'm 3 trades down, I'm being challenged. I'm being challenged right now. I'm going to stick to the process. I fear mistakes too. I learn from mistakes. I quit easy too. I will persist. No matter how long it takes, it's my journey. It's nobody else's journey. It's my journey. And I will keep going as long as I have to keep going. Now, our brains love habits. And this is why I said to some of you guys that I've had one-on-one, you can't just change your habit like this. And tomorrow you have a different habit because you've already developed certain habits. Now, you go from thought to habit. Now, whatever you repeat and you reinforce, you become, guys. So the brain, this is how the brain works. In the brain, it starts with a thought. So you think something. And then the brain creates an idea and makes a decision. So you're thinking about something. Okay, cool. This sounds like. Then the brain goes into where it creates an idea and then makes a decision. So you now looked at this. You had a thought to say, you know what? I want to become really wealthy, or I need to make an extra income. So the brain then creates an idea and says, well, you know what? Back then you watched a video about trading and then you make a decision. You know what? I'm going to try this trading thing. Then from there, you have to have repeated actions. Okay, so you need to take action and then you need to do it again and you need to do it consistently over and over and over and over for you to understand it so the brain can store it. And then once you've repeated it enough times, it turns into a habit. And when it becomes a habit, your brain recognizes the pattern and creates a habit to save energy. Okay, so the brain doesn't want to sit there the whole time and, make all the decisions for you. It wants to put certain things on autopilot. And that's why the 30 trade challenge is challenging you that, because we're teaching you a new habit. Okay, and then after the brain has done all of this, you've gone through this entire process, you then get to the bottom where it becomes an automatic behavior. It becomes automatic. So you no longer have to think about it. You just do it. Okay. Marnie, why don't you move your stop loss? Because I just do it. Marnie, why don't you move your TP? Because I just do it. Marnie, how can you leave your trades for 2 days and not even check it? Because I just do it. It's an automatic behavior for me. I don't think about it anymore. I open up the chart. I see what I see. I don't like what I see. I move away. I look at the chart. I like what I see. I take the trade. That's it. It's as simple as that, guys. So you need to create that same habit. Now, what is the habit loop? Because obviously we have a specific loop that we need to go. It's small cues. You see, a habit is not just change because you think, oh, I think differently. You have to go from small cues to consistent actions to powerful results. Now you guys understand why we have the 30 trade challenge. We make small cues. We guide you inside of a structured framework. Okay, so the example, so you have the cue. This is the trigger that tells your brain to start. Then there's a routine. You take action. Okay, so the action you take, then you get a reward. The benefit your brain receives, so it's either good or a bad, and then you repeat that cycle. That then is what we call the loop that creates automatic behavior. So let me give an example in trading, right? So the market opens, that's the cue. 6 a.m., that's the cue. 2 p.m., that's the cue. The market opens and alerts your brain. Open charts. So some of you guys are like, oh, well, Marnie, why can't I stay off the charts? You're addicted to the dopamine that comes from the chart. You are not opening the chart because it's the time to make money. No, you're opening the chart because you are afraid of missing out. So then you have the routine. You open your charts and begin your process. You follow your checklist, the action. You follow your trading checklist plan. Then you have confidence. You get the reward. You feel confident, in control, and prepared. How many of you guys are feeling very, very confident this morning after your loss? No, money. That sucked. Why would our very first trade on the 30 trade challenge be a loser? Huh? Did you get feedback about yourself? Not about the trade. You got feedback about yourself, and you don't like the feedback that you got about yourself. It had nothing to do with the trade. It had everything to do with what you're telling in your mind. And then repeat. And then we repeat it. And the more times you repeat it, it becomes a habit. Now, any of you guys may be emotional trading? Let's see. Raise your hands there. How many of you guys are emotional trading? Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go, guys. Emotional trading. Now, let's explain to you the difference between emotional trading and how professionals deal with it. Did you guys hear? I didn't say eliminate it, right? I didn't say eliminate. I said deal with it. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't go away, guys. I wish I can say that, but it doesn't. So you feel fear, and then you act on that fear. This is how we as profitable and professional traders, how we deal with it. We feel the fear, then we follow the plan. So the moment that I'm feeling fearful and I'm looking at this position and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work out. What do? I remind myself of the plan. I follow my plan and trust the process. So when you feel fear, you look at this thing and say, you know what? Is it more important for me to follow the plan or to follow the fear? When I feel greed and I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me just pump the lot size here. I'm feeling really good about this one. I think I need to pull up on the risk. That is the moment that I step in and I tell myself, nope. It is more important for you to follow the discipline, Marnie. What is the discipline? We protect capital and I follow my rules. What does my rule say? No more than 1% on my personal account. Okay. And guys, it is at such a level with me that when I start, if I go to like 2% and I go into my trade and I break that rule and I take 2%, I cannot put my phone down. My brain is hounding me to close that position. So I now associate when I don't take the right level of risk, my brain actually gives me pain because I'm even thinking of increasing risk. My brain literally knocks me and says, hello, what do you think you're doing? Because I have created this discipline. When you get fear of missing out, we replace it with patience. You remind yourself, I wait for my setup. The best trades are worth waiting for. The reason why you are losing money is because you're impatient, Marnie. You have to wait for the right setups. Yo, Marnie, but we had such a good trade and it worked. Well, it wasn't exactly the setup I was looking for. The setup is not there. Walk away. Revenge. When revenge comes at us, the only thing that you can do when you feel revenge is to walk away. Walk away, guys. That's why I don't sit on my charts the whole day. I don't look at the chart the whole day. I walk away. I go for a walk around the block. I go to the gym. I go and do something. But I step away at that moment because I know the longer I sit and look at it, the more my brain is going to tell me to do it. Okay, and it is more important for me to protect my mindset than to protect my pocket. Because if I hurt my mind, it will eventually show in my pocket. When I get excitement and I feel like, oh, today I have a checklist. Slow down and follow my trading plan. The reason why there's a checklist is because I have to do these things. And then when I feel stressed, so if you're feeling stressed right now, if one of your recommendations on your psychological assessment is stress, it is time to journal. Write it out, clear your mind, and regain control. Professionals respond, amateurs react. Okay, so professionals respond, guys. We respond to the information the market gives us. Amateurs react to it. Marie, did you see that candle? We must jump in now. We must jump in. It's going to reveal. Okay. That's an amateur mindset. Because professionals respond to it. You know what? Okay, cool. It looks like it's falling. It's the same with the trade. I mean, gold is dropping like a stone. And everybody's chasing in the market. We already got into the market last week, Thursday, did we not? Didn't we climb into the market last week, Thursday? How many of you guys climbed in with me last week, Thursday? I think Jan, Jan, did you not climb in with me? Lauren climbed in with me. Colleen climbed in with me. Jan climbed in with me. We all climbed in. Franco climbed in with me. Yes, Neil. Yes, guys. We already climbed into the market last week. We already looked at it last week and said, you know what, I think this market's going to come down further. Doesn't seem to be breaking through that area there. Let's wait for it. So what happens? Well, everybody else is chasing the market. We already got it last week. We already said, you know what, from the 1 hour perspective, I think gold's going to have never. Gold is going to buy. Really? Because amateurs react. Professionals respond. That is the difference, guys. Oh, sorry, Franco, that sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. Okay, so fear is normal. Really, Marnie? Is it okay for me to feel fear? Yes, it is. Fear is normal because fear isn't your enemy. Fear is designed to protect you. The problem is you are letting fear make the decision. Okay, so will fear ever leave you in trading? No. But don't let fear make the decisions for you. For example, fear of losing, fear of missing out, fear of pulling the trigger, fear of success, fear of being wrong. So how do you overcome the fear? Simple. Fear of losing, it's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of doing trading. Fear of missing out? No, I don't miss out. I put a limit order in. That's why we execute with limit orders or stop orders. Fear of pulling the trigger. That's why we have stop loss orders. That's why we wait for the market to come to us and we don't chase the market. The fear of success. That's why we track and measure everything. We do not look at our P&L. We don't measure our success by our profit and loss statement. We rather measure ourselves by the rate of execution. How well did we execute? That is more important. And the fear of being wrong. How do we overcome it? Well, because we don't focus on what we do wrong, because we didn't do anything wrong. We only did something wrong when we acted out of fear. So when I changed my stop loss, I didn't change it because the strategy told me so. I changed it because I felt afraid of losing the money that I've already made. So that is what I would rather want to do. Okay. So with confidence confidence comes with evidence, guys. Okay. So this is important. So if you are in your psychological assessment, you got back and it says to you that you are battling with confidence, confidence will only come with evidence. That's why I need you to pull the trigger on 30 trades so that you can realize that you need evidence. You need some form of structure that you can look at every single time and like, okay, cool. The evidence is now in front of me. Now I can believe it, because confidence isn't built by winning. Confidence is built by repetition. Practice gives me experience. Experience gives me evidence. Evidence gives me confidence. Okay. So you need to focus on that. That's why if you're not feeling confident, it's absolutely okay. Every beginner trader, intermediate trader is going to feel like this because it comes with the evidence. That's why I don't just give away my indicator to anybody that wants it. Why you have to earn it, because once you do the practice, you gain the experience. Once you get the experience, you have the evidence. Once you have the evidence, you create the confidence. So how does professionals think? Professional traders ask, did I follow my rules? Did I manage risk? Did I execute correctly? Did I learn something? Amateurs asks, how much money did I make? That's the difference, guys. Now, tomorrow when you guys go my live and someone says, how much money did you make? You're all going to laugh at him, isn't it? So you're all going to make a comment and say, how? That's an amateur, isn't it? So that's why you guys understand why I always laugh when people come to you, oh, show me your P&L. How much money? Show me your payouts. I want to see all of your money. I want to see all your money. Okay, because that's what amateurs ask. Don't come in there and say to me, hey, how many trades have you taken this year? What does your profit factor look like? What is your expectancy at the moment on your strategy? No, because that's what professionals ask, but amateurs don't ask that because they don't know that, guys. So from tomorrow, I can almost see a different vibe in the TikTok lives. I can actually see this coming. All right. So how does professionals react to losses? Because losses are part of the process. And since you are going to be doing the 30 trades, now you're going to learn about losses. So how do you handle a loss? Now there's two ways. You need to decide. You're going to sometimes have amateur actions, but the idea is to deal with it more on this side. So your response determines your future. So the amateur way is a loss, it hurts. And when it hurts, an emotional takes over and I get angry, I get fearful, and I get frustration. Okay. And then from that emotion, that is when revenge trading sets in, because I believe it's me against the market. The market owes me my money. It stole my money from there. I'm going to try and beat the market. That's the moment that you double your losses. You'll fiddle with lot sizes. And I think on the one video I sent you guys, you could see how one person, how he took 4 problem accounts and blew them up in less than 10 minutes because he went through he spiraled through this entire process. And then what happens at the end? He blames market. Oh, well, trading is a scam. The market is against me. It's just a big scam. That's when people say trading is a scam, because they consistently fall through this loop over and over. Failure is built on reactions. Now, how does a professional person think about it? Loss, it's part of the game. What do I do then? Well, don't go into my emotions. I go into my review mode. I put on my magnifying glass and I say to myself, I analyze what happened without emotion. Did I follow the rules? Did I follow the plan? Yes. Oh, okay, this is just a statistical thing. Oh, no, you know what? I made a mistake here. So what do? I learn. I extract the lesson and I become better. Exactly what I've done for the guys that already finished the first 30 trades. What did we do? We extracted the learnings and gave you a new framework. Then we improve because we apply the lessons and refine the approach. And what do we then do? We move on. We let it go and focus on the next opportunity. Okay. Now, self-talk matters. It is the most important thing, because when you are in the trade, it's only you and yourself. There's nobody else that's going to talk to you. So your self-talk matters. Stop saying things like, I'm terrible. I suck at this. I can't understand this. I'm not good enough. I'm unlucky. These things don't happen to me. I always lose. I'll never get this. This is too difficult for me. I want you to turn it into say, I'm learning. I'm improving every week. I need more data. I am actually pretty intelligent. I am smart. I am good at this. I am learning every single day. I am getting better at this. I am being consistent. Okay. Now, visualization. This is something that Tom Hogarth teaches extensively in his trading book as well as is to close your eyes and imagine yourself following your trading plan. Okay, so this is what he does. It's a trick that I pulled from him as well. So what he says is he closes his eyes and then he visualizes what is the worst case scenario for today, what is the best case scenario, and then he accepts both of those outcomes and then he decides to follow his plan. That's exactly what he does, and he's highly successful at it. So it's about closing your eyes when you get into the market 6 a.m. in the morning, is to just take that moment to go and then look at it and say, visualize in your brain, what is going to happen when this thing goes all the way to stop loss and take shots? Well, that would be 2 negative trades, wouldn't it? Be 2 losers in a row. Okay, how does that feel? You know what? It sucks, but Marnie did say it's part of trading. So you know what? It's okay. If I lose another trade, that's absolutely okay. What just happened? You trained your brain to feel that emotion. Your brain can't differentiate between reality and visualization. So what does your brain do? When it actually comes and it happens, the brain's like, we already planned for this. Okay. Accept the losses, walk away. Your brain struggles to distinguish vivid, imagined experiences from real ones. Visualization helps you to prepare you to execute your plan with greater confidence and consistency. So when you open up, you look at it, what is best case scenario, what is worst case scenario, you accept both of those outcomes, you see the trade going all the way to the stop loss, and you let it go. Okay. Daily affirmations. You need to remind yourself of how amazing you are. You're all by yourself every single day. There might not be many people around you that is supporting you in this journey. So you need to support yourself first and foremost. So you need to use affirmations. There is some affirmations in the book that you can use in chapter 1. Some examples is, I followed my trading plan today. Okay. I respect risk. I don't chase trades. Losses are tuition. Consistency creates freedom. I think in probabilities and read them together. Okay. So it's not affirmation like I'm good, I'm fine. No. It's about I follow my trading plan. I am the type of trader that follows my trading plan. I respect risk. I don't chase trades. Losses are tuitions. Consistency creates freedom. Probabilities, and repeating those to you over and over, putting them as a screensaver, putting them behind you, your trading affirmations, because you're reminding yourself of who you want to become. Remember, it's not something outside of you. You need to become it and you will attract it. Okay. Now we need to create an identity shift. So we need to stop you from saying, how do I become profitable, to start asking, who do I need to become? Okay. We need to create that identity shift inside of you. So how are we going to do it? Well, let's look at what does the identity of a professional trader look like. Okay. But now I want you to complete this example. If you are going to look at yourself as a professional trader, what is the one identity that you believe out of these examples or others? What do you believe this one thing makes a professional, profitable trader? So I want you to sit for a moment and think, I am a trader who keeps promises, protects capitals, things like. So I want you guys to type it for me into the comment section, please. I am. So type in there, I am a trader who, and finish it for me, please. Let's see. Okay, I am a trader who protects capital. That's great, Didi. Okay, let's see. Then we have Franco that says, I am a trader who thinks long term. Oh, I love that one. Ziona, I'm a trader who thinks long term. So Ziona and Franco's on the same thing. Jan is, I am a trader who follows the process. Marley, I am a person. Marley is saying, I am a trader who protects capital. Vicky says, I am a trader who plans before I act. Love that one. Colleen, I am a trader of all of the above. That is so Colleen. Kun, I am a trader who follows the process. Zainab says, I am a trader who follows the process. You guys see it. I am a trader that is disciplined. Shanae says, I am a trader that thinks long term. I am a trader who protects capital. I am a trader. Armando says, I'm a trader who is often nervous about execution, careful about capital. Love that, Armando. Beautiful. I'm a trader who executes my plan, says Nathaniel. Catherine says, I am a trader who thinks long term. Lauren says, I am a trader who understands losses as part of the process. I don't chase, I wait for the market to come to me, and I am a trader who trades the plan. Well done, Lauren. Lindy, I am a trader who follows the process. Beautiful, Lindy. Beautiful. That is a deep one for you. Kululwa says, I am a trader who learns every day. That's a deep one for you as well, Kululwa. Daniel, Nila says, I am a trader who respects the risk. Mariam says, I am a trader who learns every day. Mikhail says, I am a trader who learns every day. Noxolo says, I am a trader who accepts that missing a trade is better than forcing one. Max says, I am a trader who follows the process. Monica says, I am a trader that learns every day. Neil says, I'm a trader who follows the system diligently in risk, long-term game, and protects capital under any condition. Zandra says, I'm a trader who tries his best. I am a, Leseka says, I am a trader that is learning every day. Sipo says, I am the trader who is consistently on the strategy. And Yolandi says, I am a trader who follows the process and keeps promises. Keegan says, I am a trader that understands the markets. Okay, do you see how wide every is? But everybody's on the same journey. Okay, I wanted you guys to hear each one of yours because it's important to understand that. All right. So your activity, you don't have to do it now, guys. It will be in your workbook, is 5 limiting beliefs. Okay, there's going to be an exercise in there to help you to identify the 5 limiting beliefs. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to run through how you need to approach the activity, because there is normally between 3 to 5 limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And these are not limiting beliefs like in trading specifically. It is limiting beliefs within yourself, that you do not believe that you deserve this. You don't believe that you are good enough, that you need to go and identify. Okay, so now here is my final thought for tonight, guys. The market will never consistently reward the person you are today. It rewards the person you become. Okay, guys, I'm going to say that again. The market will never consistently reward the person you are today. It rewards the person you become. Moving one less stop loss. Taking one more trade with proper risk management. Taking one more trade after a 4-trade losing streak. Leaving my trade to hit stop loss or TP. Waking up every day at the right time, being behind my charts and ready to do this. That is the person you are becoming. It's not about the big things, guys. We're not here to change everything overnight. We are here to take one meaningful step towards success, guys. Okay. That is the more important thing that you have to focus on. All right, guys. So I think that is that for tonight. All right. Okay. So many of you guys might have thought tonight we are going to focus on many other things, guys. Tonight is the last chapter on a trader's mindset. Okay. So this is the last chapter you'll be doing on this. This is the foundation, guys. If you do not do these 2, if you don't read chapter number 1 and you don't listen to lesson 1 and lesson 2, You will, I promise you, you will battle this entire course because you didn't do the foundation. Your entire trading future lies upon these two things. Okay. So even before we've even touched the markets, before we've even learned how does the market move, none of those things are important unless you have the right framework. Because I cannot teach you to be a profitable trader if you still come to the charts with a negative mindset. I cannot teach you to follow a strategy if you still believe that you are not good enough to be a profitable trader. So I can teach you everything that I know. But at the end of the day, you are the person that's going to press the button. You are the person that's going to look at the market. And if you're going to look at the market from a negative lens and you're going to feel that the market is always cheating you and it's always robbing you, you will never find profitable trades. You'll find all the wrong trades. But if you believe that the market is there, neutral, and that you have the abilities, you will come to the charts differently. And give yourself time to grow. Please, guys, be patient and loving to yourself. And I'm saying this, I say this so many times to you guys because I did not do that for myself when I started trading. I used to beat myself up because I was making mistakes, because I was executing from a wrong, my mindset was completely wrong. And the moment that I realized that I needed to change my mindset, I just kept going from level to level and from height to height, because that is the most important part, guys. Okay. So from next week, we will be start touching things like MetaTrader, TradingView, how to get everything up to date. Okay, guys? But for now, this is the two most important modules you will do. And for all of the people that will be watching this recording in the future, I say to you today, do not skip lesson number 1 and lesson number 2, because these are the two lessons that you need to do. But the reason why you don't want to do them is because it hurts here. It hurts here. And sometimes we don't want to face our pain. We don't want to face our inadequacies. We don't want to face the things that we need to work on because the brain wants to keep us safe. But these are the most important things that you need to work on, because professional traders think and act differently. And you can only earn at that level if you become that person, guys. I know, Edna, guys, I know it hurts like hell. But just behind that, behind all of this that you're busy with, is that reward which you are looking for. I promise you that, because I've seen it happen for so many people. That's why you will see people that have poor education. They could never get anything right in their lives, end up becoming multimillionaires. And then when they ask him, but you were not smart and you didn't do all these, they would just say, well, you know what? I just had this blind faith. I just believed, just like Conor McGregor said, he said, I already lived it. I already saw it. So if you don't wake up every single day and already believe that you have everything inside of you to be that trader, can't help you. Nobody can help you. You want to hear the scary part? Not even God himself can help you. Because unfortunately, you have the ability to you make choices. You have the ability to make decisions. You were given free will for a reason. That's what makes you different from the rest of all the things in this world, is you have the ability to think. You have the ability to rationalize. You have the ability to make a decision. And nobody can force you to make any decision. Okay? So this is the part where you look in the mirror, you take the accountability, and then you realize that you already have everything inside of you to succeed. You just have to take it one trade at a time, one step at a time, and make small little changes, one at a time. And then a year from today, you turn around and you're like, how did I get here? Because you just did the small things, guys. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Okay. I'm going to quickly drop the recording now.